Welcome everybody to the Big Ben and Ty Sports Cave. As usual, we have Big Ben and our good buddy at the end, Wade.
Yeah, Wade.
So, we'll kind of get right into the Rivermen talk here. Rivermen do play tonight again against the Marksmen. Ben, you want to bring that up real quick?
There we go.
They play tonight. Tonight I'm going to be watching, like I said, kind of two things at once. I'll be watching the Rivermen and the Gateway Dirt Nationals. So I have a lot to watch tonight. Before we get too far into the discussion of the Rivermen, Wade, please tell us about this great Indian restaurant. I've heard good things about it from other people as well. Go ahead, Wade, and just kind of give them a little shout out.
Yes, we got, of course, the Bayleaf Indian Restaurant and Bar in the downtown Peoria area, a couple blocks away from Carver Arena where Rivermen play. Great food. They serve to taste. So if you're not big into spicy food, they do have more mild options of their food that if you prefer it that way. Like I said, they cater to taste. They have great service there. You can go there before Rivermen games and park your car. Doesn't have to be Rivermen games either. You can just go there to have a good meal.
You can go there. You can go there in general anytime or at any event at the Carver Arena. So
yeah, it's something new, something different, and it's great food. So
I mean, you could say, and also you can save. You can spend $10, $15, $20 and park, or you can park in their lot, go get some food before you go over there and save and use that $20 for the food at the Indian Leaf restaurant.
I mean,
or at the Bayleaf.
if you're gonna eat before you go to the game anyway, I mean, yeah, just
Right.
save yourself the trouble of paying for parking.
Yeah. So thanks, Wade. Like I said, get down there, go to Bayleaf Indian Restaurant and Bar, tell them that Wade sent you, and get some good Indian food. Like I said, I've heard good things. All right, now going towards back the Rivermen. Like I said, they play tonight. They play tomorrow night. We're gonna get right into the discussion about last night's game. So, what can I say? I was expecting Bostet to start last night. And when I saw Latinovic was starting, I just kind of shook my head. And again, I said what I always said: you have the best goalie sitting on your bench.
Yep.
Well, I guess we'll break it down period by period. First period, it's not like they weren't. I guess they weren't trying. I don't want to say that because they were. But there was some goals that were questionable that probably should have never happened. We had that one defensive turnover right in front of the goaltender. Wade, I know you're itching to say something, so I don't know what else to say. First period was just not our period.
Right. And like I said, as people know, I do somewhat put out my own videos from time to time, and I do cover this. And I said it then, and I'll say it now. Being on the road, it's going to take a full 60-minute effort. Marksman is not going to want to lose to us in their home barn. They're not just going to roll over. When the Rivermen come to town, you want to beat the Rivermen, period. That's every team in this league. Rivermen have a giant target on their back. You're going to have to play 60 minutes. And, the first period, we did get off to a little slower start. They got two quick goals on us, go up 2 goals. They outshot us 10-5 in that first period.
Damn.
So, like I said, it was a slower start, but it got better in the second and third. And to be honest, the players didn't have a horrible game defensively or offensively. There was one liability on the ice, and I hate to say it. I hate like singling players out, but
Yeah.
liability on the ice was Tino. He just was. 5 goals he let in. Dude, we'll get into that a little bit later. We'll go period by period.
Yeah. We're gonna get into the Tino discussion a little bit. And then the second period came, and it's like, well, we all know Guy does not settle for anything less than perfection. And Guy, he must have said something, because when they came out of the second period, they were playing Riverman hockey. They were the passes were more crisp.
Right.
They were getting to the loose pucks, because that first period passing was terrible. They weren't fighting for loose pucks. But the second period was our period, I think. I think we went out, we played our game, and they looked good second period. I mean, they were down 2-0 going into the period, or first or second, wasn't it? Wasn't it 2-0?
Yep.
Then they scored those 2 goals, so it tied it up. And I'm like, all right, we got something going on here. And then we'll get to the third period after I think Wade tells us. What did you get out of the second period?
I mean, like I said, I thought we played an excellent second period. In all honesty, Riverman came out with a purpose. They came out with a great effort, and they were executing. They tied that game back up and got 2 goals themselves. I believe on the power play, I think they got 2 power play goals in that period to get those 2 goals. I said it would come down to special teams as well. Looking at the special teams numbers overall, Rivermen were 3 for 4 on the power play, which is great. But Fayetteville was also 2 of 4 on the power play. And to put that 2 of 4 in perspective, on the entire season, Fayetteville had 3 power play goals, 3 of 55. They got 2 of them against Tino last night alone. So and they had the second worst offense in the league, with only scoring 26 goals on the year, and they again got 5 on Tino last night. So I'm glad we was able to help their offense and power play out last night.
When I went into this game, I was thinking, I'm not saying this should be pure dominance, but I was not expecting the Marksmen to be that good of offense, because, like you said, they are the second worst in the league, and honestly, they looked good. I'm not gonna lie, they did. They looked good. Now,
and I do want to note, Riverman outshot the Fayetteville Marksmen 17-8 in the second period.
Yeah. Now going into the third. Yep, there's the standings. Peoria is sitting 5th in the standings right now.
Only by 1 point.
Yeah. Yeah. But anywho.
Well, you're talking about it, so I figured I'd show that real quick.
Yeah, going into the third, I think we started kind of playing like we did in the second, but then I think hell broke loose. We were tied to tied after the second. Refresh me, because like I said, I've been watching the Gateway Nationals plus the Riverman game, so I've been kind of mixing the two.
I have a love for hockey, but my love for racing's a little bit more, so I was more concentrating on the race than the hockey game. So
we went into third going tied, 2-2.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, we should be good. Oh, come on, Corey. Let's not go Dogs. But anywho, so I figured, we're okay. We're still okay. But then again, like I said, hell kind of broke loose. They scored, 2 right away? Or did we get 1? Yeah, they scored 2, and then we scored 2. And I'm like, okay, all right, guys, let's at least take it into overtime. Let's get a point out of this. If we're gonna lose, let's get a point. And yeah, I respect that, Corey. If you grew up watching the old team, and then it turned into the Dogs, yeah. I mean, I was a Bloomington Prairie Thunder fan, and then I was kind of a Bloomington Blaze fan and Bloomington Thunder fan when they actually played the Rivermen. So I get where you're coming from, Corey.
Well, this tells you how old I am. I'm a Peoria Prancers fan. So if you know, you know.
Yeah. So, and then, like I said, we scored 2. Let's get into overtime. And then I just shook my head. When the 5th goal went in, I was just like, you have got to make those big saves. He made a big save earlier in that game that when they passed it over, and that was an open net. And I'm like, oh, shit. And then Latino got over and saved it. And I'm like, you can make that save, but come on.
That's what I mean. It's such a conundrum with him. It's so frustrating because you'll see him make a big save like he did in the first, get over and glove that one, and then a basic nothing shot with no screen in front of him gets through him. And
yeah,
it's like that literally makes no sense.
Yeah.
The third period, like what you said, the way it started out. We came out and they got the first goal on us, and then pretty much a couple minutes later got the second goal, and I'm like, all right, well, this ain't looking good. It's going to be hard to tie this back up with Colby Muse at net, and we're on the road.
Yeah.
But, like I said, the boys outshot Marksman 12-6 in that third period, which means they got 2 goals on 6 shots on Tino. And I liked it. I liked the effort. They didn't quit. They didn't just shut it down and be like, well, I guess we'll try again tomorrow. No, they were in it, and they came back from a 2-goal deficit twice. If that don't say effort, and I don't know what does, because to me that shows effort and wanting to win and not giving up. And when you fight back from 2-goal deficits like that, you come back on the road in the third period, get 2 goals, tie it up at 4. That's when you need your goalie the most to be that anchor, to put the clamps down. And it was right when we tied it up at 4. It's like, all right, here we go. Now let's just keep the puck out of the net. A couple minutes later, there goes Tino letting in a basic shot and the go-ahead goal to make it 5-4, which would end up being the final. And I legitimately was upset at that goal. I legitimately was upset and just beside myself, because I was just like, that's just ridiculous. I hate being like this towards anybody on my team and getting upset, but it's just like, that can't happen.
Yeah, no.
Got their asses off to tie this game up, and you just let in a basic nothing shot for the go-ahead goal.
Yeah. Right. Do you have Tino's stats from last night? How many he faced?
Yeah, he was 19 of 24 on the game, and we had 34 shots total.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna bring this out. I know a lot of people are saying get rid of Tino, get rid of Tino. Let's pump the brakes here a little bit. I'm not saying get rid of Tino. We shouldn't get rid of Tino. Let's pump the brakes here.
Yeah.
We know what Tino can do. We know. He's a great goalie. But something, I don't know if it's psychological. I don't know if it's something physical. But Tino is not Tino. I'm not sure what needs to happen, but I really think he needs a break. And if that means sit him down for a couple games and then maybe give him a start next weekend, okay. But
and how long has he been being a goalie for?
He's been a while. It's been a long time since. I mean, You got to
So
remember, Ben, a lot of these guys have played since they were Braxton's age.
So
So
what I'm saying that is do you think because he's the older age that being that old he can't produce an
Well-
SPHL energy to play?
I don't think he's been the same since his injury, honestly.
yeah, I
That's
agree
what
with
I
you,
was
Wade.
getting at. He probably had I didn't
But,
know that he had that.
I mean, I don't want to say age is a factor because I mean, look at Fleury in the NHL.
He's still going.
I mean, he can still. I mean, he could still do it. So and he was an older guy. But again, I don't think we need to go to a drastic measure to get rid of Tino.
No.
I think we need he needs to figure out what's going on with him, and either if that means put him on the IR for a little bit to get his head right, or team suspension, or whatever, to get his head right, and then bring him back. We have a perfect goalie on the bench right now. Jack can step up and he can be that guy. I really think he could be that guy. I mean, you know, we told everybody that his stats last show, or not last show, but the show before that. He's the best in the SPHL right now. And he's sitting on the bench. And it's like you know, and I know Guy is, and you're going to have people trust in Guy. I do trust in Guy, but you know what? Sometimes you just got to scratch your head and say, what the hell, dude? And I saw a comment last night that says, you know, Latino carried us to a championship. Okay, I disagree with that in a way.
You're right.
Because, you know, Tino can't score. So, you know who kind of carried us with the scoring was Hageman. I mean, those last 2 games against Huntsville for the championship, Hageman was on fire. Yeah. So, yes, Tino had a lot to do with the championship, but we can't say he carried us to the championship. I mean, do you agree, Wade, on that? Or
I mean, absolutely, I agree with that. And like I said, I was one of the biggest advocates for Tino that year. But that was a complete team effort on that championship. The way our offense came through in the playoffs and was playing that year, our team defense was top in the league.
Mm-hmm.
People were getting like 15 to 20 shots a game, you know, off our goalies. So, you know, like I said, that was a complete team effort. No, not one player. I wouldn't even say Hags carried us. It wasn't just one person that carried that team. It was the team. Everything was firing on all cylinders. And, you know, Tino was having a goalie of the year type season, but, you know, I see that from Tino super fans, and that's what I am calling them, because they seem to give him every excuse in the book. They don't want to hold him accountable. It's the defense. Mm-hmm. He led us to a championship. That was 2 years ago. He won the championship. Yeah. That was then. This is now. We didn't have Boston back then either. And I heard, like I said, I upset a few Rivermen fans with what I said, and one of them just said, look, Boston's just a backup. It's Tino that's going to win us a championship. And it's like, you're living in the past. You're not living in reality if that's your true feelings.
No, I agree 100% on that, because like we said before, stats say for themselves. And honestly, I think Jack's the better one anyway, because we were down how many defensemen when Jack would play?
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not trying to make anybody mad, but like you said, I think they're living in the past. And you can't do that. You just can't, because hell, okay, if I'm going to live in the past, well, you know, Bennington's a great goalie for the Blues. We got to keep Bennington. We got to keep him. He took us to a championship in 2019. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, there's a time to be living in the past, and then there's times to figure out what's going on with the team now. Now, do I agree with some of the comments you've seen on Facebook? Wade, I'm sure you've seen them. Ben, I'm sure you've seen them, where they say, there's more going on with the team than just goaltending. Do I agree with that? Yes, I do. I do agree with that. There is something missing with this team. And, it was actually kind of exciting to see Bear last night get a little fire up his ass and put a guy in a headlock.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Like, I was like, wow, you're actually going to do that. That was awesome. Like, I enjoy seeing that out of Bear because, you didn't really see that in the past. But again, guys, like I said, pump the brakes. I know there's people out there. Well, get rid of Tino. No, let's not get rid of Tino. Let's just calm down a little bit. And
like you said earlier, they just need to put him on IR or whatever. Maybe have him go through some therapy or do a more extensive physical to see if something's wrong. And
well, I think people say, like, it's time to find another goalie. It's like, no, it's not. We have another goalie. His name is Jack Boston.
Yeah.
We need to find another goalie.
And yeah. And I was gonna say something like that. Wait, I'm so tired of hearing that. We need to find another goalie. We have one. Like, you guys, like, I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna probably piss off a lot of people. You guys look over Jack. Some people do. Exactly. And it's really starting to piss me off.
Exactly.
Because, a lot of people are saying, well, we need to find another goalie. We have another goalie. He's the best in the SPHL right now if you look at stats. Like, do you guys not understand that? Like, do you guys just act like he's like, okay, I'm not trying to say, like, put anybody down, but like Brendan Brawley, he's having a tough time in the SPHL. I don't know if you remember Brendan Brawley, Wade, but he just got released from Evansville. Right. He's having a tough go in the SPHL, and he played for the Rivermen for a little while. And I honestly think he would have been a better goalie if he would have stayed with Peoria, because but it's like everybody just overlooks Jack, and like I said, and it's starting to kind of piss me off. Because he's a very good goalie, and if anybody has ever met him, he is a down-to-earth, very nice guy. Exactly. And but I guess you got, like you said, you got those Tino super fans. I almost said Tina. The hell am I talking about? Tino super fans, and if you are a Tino super fan, cool. Everybody's got their guy, and if you want to keep supporting Tino, which is fine, I support Tino.
Right.
I do.
Want him to be successful. It's not like I don't want Tino to be successful. I want him to be successful. Unfortunately, he doesn't have it right now. He is not the same goalie that helped us get a championship. That's what I'm trying to make people understand.
Right.
Goalie on the bench that is better. That, if you look at the stats, has not allowed more than 2 goals in a single game all season. Tino, on the other hand, and he's in his last 4 starts, he's lost 3 of them, and he has 5 games where he's allowed 3 goals or more.
Right.
And it's like he's literally lost 3 of his last 4 starts, and he's started 3 games in a row, and he lost 2 of those.
Yeah.
Almost, you could say, lost 4 of them as we barely squeaked by Evansville 4-3.
Yeah.
It sounds like what we're doing is, it sounds like we want Tino to excel. We want him to be the best goalie he can be for the Rivermen or whatever team he comes on in the future. It's just, we're calling for better lack of terms, the elephant in the room. And then the people that are the diehard Rivermen fans don't like to hear change or like to hear something different. like you said, we're not bashing them. We just
They
want
don't
the
like
best for him.
They don't like criticism of a player they like.
Yeah,
Right.
and another thing too is they need to realize too is I think Tino, this is his last year. I mean, he was thinking about retiring after last year. So I really do think this is his last year. So, like I said, people need to kind of look towards the future. And if we want to keep Jack on our team, he's our future. You got to give him the starts. In my opinion, you got to. And I'm going to say something too. I hope these Rivermen fans are ready when Gee steps down.
Because
Because, if you think this is growing pains, just wait until we get a new coach. Because Gee's not going to be here forever. So, it's just one of those deals where it's like, I get people want to live in the past. I get, we've had so much success in the past. But I think it's time to kind of, give Jack the starts and see how, and see what he does.
Oh, I mean,
Like I said,
the same thing happened with the Blackhawks years ago when Coach Q quit or moved to another team.
I say he got fired.
Or he got fired. My point being, he left the Blackhawks. And look how good they were doing. And then it's like all of a sudden the Blackhawks had to work back up to where they are now. Is basically
Which they
what
still
I'm saying. To a degree, hey, they're doing better than the Blues, buddy.
Hey, it doesn't take much to be better than the Blues right now.
No.
True. But my point being is that, like, I'm piggybacking off of what you guys were saying about what happens when, Guy leaves. You'll have to rebuild back up again.
Yeah. And we knew this year was going to be a challenge. I mean, we lost a lot of our core players. I mean, Carlos Fenaris went to the FPHL. He was a lot of people can be all upset, but I think he was a key to our offense. He was.
He was.
You got Wilkie that retired. You had drawing blanks here. Uh-huh.
Ernie.
Yeah, Ernest Ernie went to the ECHL, which he is on fire right now. And I hope nothing but the best for him up there. I am so happy that he is finally playing. They're giving him an opportunity, and he is taking he's taking advantage of every opportunity they're giving him.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, like I said, this year was going to be. I figured at the beginning of the year it was going to be one of those years where, we're mediocre starting out, which we are. And a lot of people don't want to hear that, but we are. We are a mediocre team right now in the SPHL. We are not where a lot of people are used to seeing us. I mean, I was talking to a guy over the last week, and I said, yeah, I don't know. And he's like, well, where are you guys at? You guys are third or second in the standings, right? I'm like, no. He's like, what? And I think that's part of the problem with the Rivermen fans. We expect to be in the top three all year. And I'm sure Wade will agree with me. And seeing us in the mid-pack, I think, is scaring some people. And it's like, it's okay, guys. As long as we get in the playoffs, we have a chance. I mean, like I said, look at Evansville. No one thought Evansville would do what they did last year. So, any more on Tino or game last night, Wade, before we get into tonight's game?
Yeah, just like I said, I just need people to simply ask themselves one thing: what goalie gives us the best chance to win and keep us in a game? Well, I mean, It's a simple question, and I think
look at the facts. Look at the facts.
And I think people know the answer to that. And look, it's not disrespecting Tino. I'm not putting all of our losses squarely on Tino. I'm just saying, as of right now, he is more of a liability at net than Jack Boston. We would be more apt to win consistently with a goalie that's only allowing 2 goals a game at most than a goalie who's letting 3, 4, 5 goals in right now and just needs a break. That's all we're saying is Tino needs to sit for a little bit and give Jack some starts. And as far as the rest of the team goes, no, they're not exactly playing up to our standards. The defense hasn't been as strong as years past. We're not scoring goals like we have in years past. This team has not yet played a full, complete game. Not one time this year. They are capable of more. This is a better team than what we're seeing on the ice, and I think that's what's so frustrating right now is because we know this is a better team than what we're seeing on the ice, and it's getting to be that time where it's just like we should be improving at a more rapid rate than what we are, and we're not seeing that consistency that we're used to seeing. We just got to be a little more patient. I do believe in this team. I do think they will eventually put it together and win more consistently, but unfortunately, we're not there yet. We just aren't, and that's the facts of the matter.
Yeah, no, I agree. So let's change over. Let's start talking about tonight's game. Again tonight against the Marksmen again. I think, well, I shouldn't say I think. I hope we see Bostet in goal for us. I think I don't see him starting Tino again tonight, but we don't know. We didn't think Tino was going to start last Saturday, but guess what happened? He came out first in the tunnel. So,
Boston ain't starting, and I think we're not being told something.
Yeah.
I'd rather it's a small injury or something. If I see Tino come out and start tonight, there's something we're not being told that's going on, because there's not one solid reason you can give me to start Tino tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. No. And like I said, I'm hoping we see Bostet. But like I said, we don't know what going on. I mean, there's a lot of things that the fans don't have, access to. So tonight, like I said again, we're playing the Marksmen again. I would like to see the second period, all 3 periods tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, they played perfect in the second period. I wouldn't say perfect, but next to perfect. We were moving the puck good. We were scoring. Defense was looking great in the second period.
Special teams.
And special team. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, power play, and that's a big thing for us. Again, against the Evansville, we just kept passing the puck. It was a great passing session for 5 minutes, but they only got one shot on goal. So, I mean, but I did like to see the special teams come out last night and capitalize on all 3 out of the 4. I believe that's what you said, Wade, was 3 out of the 4. That's great. I was a little worried when I saw Mike Gillette go down the tunnel last night.
Yeah.
I was a little concerned there for just a hot second. And then I saw him come back out. So I would like to see him get a little bit more involved in scoring. I know he's trying. I know he's got a few assists so far. I have noticed he's been throwing his body around a lot lately, which is good to see, especially him coming off of the injury that he had. I was kind of a little worried about that there for a second because, I know some players, and then Wade, you could probably contest to that. Some players, when they come back from injury, they're a little hesitant to start, really going after it. So it was nice to see Gillette basically pick up where he left off last year. I want to see, like I said, I want to see the second period in all 3 periods tonight. Now, will we get that? We'll see. That's very, and you know, and I'll say one more thing, and then I'll let Wade or Ben talk a little bit too. That's one thing that we never had to do in the past was, all right, what Riverman team are we going to be watching tonight?
Yeah.
You know, in the past it was, we know what they're going to do. We know what they're going to come out. They're going to play Riverman style hockey. Nowadays it's like, which one are we going to get? Are we going to get the flat Riverman, or are we going to get the normal, you know, up in your face Riverman style hockey? So I mean, you guys agree, disagree, and differ?
Yeah, like I said before, that we just need to figure out what's up everybody's craw and adjust to or fix that, and then that way people can be fresh. People won't have stuff on their mind when they're playing. That way, when they do play, they can be their only thought would be that game and not life.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, like I said, right now I want to see consistency more than anything. I'm tired of the, hey, we look great that period, but the other periods, like, I'm tired of saying that.
Yep.
I want to see consistent, because you know what? If we play consistent and, it's a close game and we give effort for 60 minutes and we lose, I can deal with that. I can accept that a lot more often. But when I see us lay back, not putting in effort, and not giving a full 60 minutes, it's a little tougher, because it's just like, man, I think some of these games we could have came away with a W had we put in that normal effort and played more of our game, as opposed to just laying back and just, well, today's not our day.
Yeah.
That's what frustrates me and what gets me upset more than anything. And I've seen that more this year than I have in years past, and we're still early in the season. That's what I don't like. It's like, this is not what we are used to watching. Like what you said, we shouldn't have to question, are we going to get our team tonight? Are we going to see that effort that keeps us in the game? And like I said, I did like the effort. I think they are getting closer. They're not there yet, but I think they are getting closer with the putting in the effort in the games and keeping us in games. But it's just like, when one thing's starting to work, something else isn't. It's always something like, all right, our offense is working, but not our defense. Our defense is working, but now not our power play. Okay, now we got offense and defense playing well. Well, now our goaltending isn't playing well. It's just like, there's always something that's out of sync. That's why we haven't had that complete game yet. We need that complete game where the goalie, offense, defense, special teams are all consistent, all playing well. That's when obviously Rivermen are going to be at their most dangerous. And
Yeah.
we got a good team. We got a good team that can beat this Marksman team. We've seen it. They could have won yesterday. Honestly, they could have won yesterday. But again, unfortunately, our goaltending was not there. So, I look for that consistency tonight against this team, because they know they're close. They know they're knocking on the door. And hopefully, like what you said, hopefully we have Boston at net and we can see that more consistent play. And I'm sure Boston will keep us in the game, and he will give this team a chance to win tonight. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Consistency is the key word.
Yeah. So let's switch gears a little bit before we go to our keys of the game and players to watch. I wanted to kind of discuss this today. Refs. What are the advantages of having 2 refs? What are the disadvantages of having 2 refs, if there's any? And is there advantage of only having 1 ref? And can linesmen make calls? So, personally, I think all leagues should have 2 refs. That's just me. That's my opinion. Does it take up more space on the ice having 2 refs? Of course it does, because a lot of people don't think of that, you know. But I think they should have 2 refs, all leagues. I think it should be a standard for all leagues. Now the SPHL is supposed to be phasing in 2 refs a game towards the end of the year, I believe. I believe that's what they said, Wade. And I hope to see it, but I haven't seen it yet, but we'll see. Now, when it comes down to the linesmen, can linesmen make calls? I was always told they could. I believe they still can. But for some reason, it seems like the SPHL linesmen are afraid to speak up when they see when they see an infraction. Do I think 2 refs in the SPHL is going to help? I don't know. Because Wade and I and Ben, we know the referee caliber in the SPHL, and we all know that they're not consistent on their calls most of the time. I have noticed, I don't know if Wade you noticed, but a lot of the Southern games that are played, I mean, of course, I haven't dug deep in there, but it seems like there's some more consistency down there than there is when they're here in Peoria. Wade, what's your opinion on that? When it comes to that, like you said, I've already said my opinion on it, but
Well, like I said, I always think there's greater advantages to refs. It's just positioning wise, because you got refs that occupy each end. You got a ref that stays down on one end and a ref that stays down on the other. When you got one ref, it's easy for that ref to be caught out of position, especially in a goal. Like in a goal situation, you see that on fast breaks. One of the ideal position spots is to be behind the net if you're the ref. Sometimes it's a struggle for that ref to get behind the net when there's a shot on goal, especially on fast breaks. And sometimes he misses what's going on behind him. A perfect example of linesmen getting involved in calling penalties. It actually happened to the Rivermen last year. I'll use an example when we were facing the Knoxville Ice Bears when it came to Adonier and Dawson McKinney. AO and McKinney were mixing it up, and AO gave a shot to McKinney, which McKinney embellished the shit out of it. But the ref didn't see that at all. It was the linesman that skated up to the ref and told him, hey, AO gave a shot to McKinney when he was down in the back of the head. I think a penalty needs to be called here. And the ref called that penalty. Yeah. So, yes, a linesman can absolutely call a penalty if he sees something going on that the ref missed, because the ref don't have eyes in the back of his head. If there's something going down there, he's paying attention down there, and his eyes ain't on the 2 guys that are maybe tangled up on the other side.
Yeah.
So that's when the linesman needs to come in, and that's when it helps to have 2 refs as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just like when Mike Gillette slashed what's his name in the back of the knee. Now, if we would have had 2 refs there, we probably would have got a slashing call on us, because the one ref didn't see it. So, Ben, what do you think?
So would that? I'll ask this and then I'll say what I mean. So if that said, would that be a position where the linesman would have called something?
They could have. If they saw it, they could have.
They can always bring it to the ref's attention and being like, hey, I don't know if you've seen this, but this is what I saw when that was going on.
Okay, with that
final decision if he's going to make
right. Okay, I'll say this then, and then I'll say something. If that's the case, how do they know if a player is going to lie to the ref saying something happened when it didn't?
Well, what do you mean? Listen to the players. They don't give a shit what the players say or think.
Yeah.
It's It's because if you ask a player, they're always innocent. They're not going to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
So, no, yeah, they're going off the word. That's like asking a player if he scored a goal. Of course, I scored a goal. What are you talking about? Like they're not going to go off the word of a player. They'll ask the judge or the other linesman what they seen. They could care less what the players say.
Okay, so with that said, I think 2 would be good, but at the same time, that's less space for the players to move around, but it's also more obstacles for them to shoot a goal.
Well, what I want people to realize with 2 refs, that doesn't mean 2 refs are going to be in the offensive zone.
Yeah. Usually one hangs back in about mid. Because if you ever watch an NHL game, there's 2 refs. One is in the offensive zone, and the other one kind of hangs out in the neutral zone and watches the play from behind.
Yeah.
And then when
it
the
goes
puck
to the other side, they switch roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
like they have their sides of the ice, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, then yeah, I would say 2 would be great if you can.
Yeah.
I think, like you said earlier, just with 1, they'll miss a lot of stuff.
Yeah. The only time I say that the refs get in the way is like on special teams. Because, if you're trying to ice the puck and some ref's not really paying attention and it hits the ref and it doesn't get out of the zone, it's just to me, like I said,
around boards, like when they go to wrap it around the board.
Yep.
Sometimes the ref's leaning on it and it's the
yeah.
ref.
Yeah. Which sometimes I wish they would hit him in the head, but well, but anywho, so I think that's the discussion for the refs today. We'll get more into maybe one day we'll get more depth into refs, because I'm actually looking into reading the SPHL rule book. It's going to be a hard read, but I think it would help us with coming up with things to talk about as well. So let's kind of refocus on tonight's game. Let's go over, Ben, give me your keys to the game, and then we'll get to Wade's keys to the game and players he would like to watch tonight.
I'm a broken record, but you got to set the tone, get the first goal, watch the neutral zone, just fight, keep pressuring them. Don't, because you're ahead 4-2, don't mean you're going to win. So just because you're ahead, don't relax yourself to where, and just don't make mistakes. That's what I have to say about the game tonight.
All right, Wade, what's your keys to the game and 3 players that you are going to watch tonight?
My biggest key for tonight is consistent effort. I want to see a consistent effort in all 3 periods. I don't want to see a great effort in 1 or 2 periods. I want to see a great effort in 3 periods. If I see that, I'm a happy guy. So consistent effort is my big key. My second big key is special teams play. I would like that to carry over in the game too. Success we had on the power play was great. 3 or 4, you love to see it. But I do want to see our penalty kill do better against a team that was very, very poor in the power play department. We still let up 2 power play goals. So I want to see a better effort out of our penalty kill, which includes our goaltender. And my third key is to be strong at net. Goaltenders got to hold us into this game, whether that's Boston or Tino. They got to keep us in this game. They can't be giving up those soft goals that give up a lead, especially right after we tie it or take a lead. They can't turn around and then give up a soft goal and give all that momentum we just grabbed away.
Yep.
So those are my 3 keys.
I'd like to make an amendment real quick for mine, because Wade mentioned it. I'd really like to see them bench Tino for tonight and let Boss in there so they can show and see if it's just a fluke, or if Tino just needed that rest. So
Yeah. All right, 3 players, Wade.
My 3 players of the game is like I said, I want to see somebody other than Michael McChesney score a goal. I mean, let's have somebody else contribute. But I want to see Garrett Devine tonight, kind of step in and hopefully get us on the board. I'll be looking at his play because when he's aggressive, he's a very good asset for us.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm looking at Garrett Devine tonight. It's the end of Tristan Trudell's suspension. It's over. Did he travel with the team? Is he going to be in tonight's game?
Oh, I thought he had one more game. I thought tonight was the last game.
No, I think yesterday was his 7th game. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I don't know if he, and even if it if that was, I don't know if he traveled with the team or not to face.
Yeah, I asked the same question. Yeah.
So we'll see. Like I said, I think it is, but I just want to put his name out there because if he did travel with the team and it is up, I got my eye on Trudell. See how much ice time he gets and what he contributes to the game. But anyway, moving on from him, I got my eye on Corey Dennis. Like I said, I think he's been improving with us. He's one of our top defenders, and I think he's getting more confidence and courage to shoot the puck as well.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see him continue that. I don't want him to take a back step. So I like to see him keep firing the puck on net and keep doing what you're doing defensively. And then my last guy would be our captain, Alec Bear. Like you said, you've seen him last night kind of show a little bit of leadership and a little bit of heart protecting our guy. Because I didn't like how he went into the goalie either. I thought he could have held up and avoided, because it didn't look like he tried to avoid contact whatsoever.
No.
He just flew right into him.
Yep.
So I was happy to see Bear respond to that. Like, I don't care if you're still down on the ice. I'm still, don't touch my damn goalie.
Yeah.
I love to see that fight because we know that's exactly what Hageman would have done.
Yep.
As well. So I love to see that fight from Alec, and I want to see him build off that last night and have a successful game tonight.
Yeah. So I guess my 3 keys tonight is play smart, don't take any stupid penalties, because they got most of their goals mostly on power plays too, I believe. So we got to stay out of the penalty box. And another key is kind of like what Ben says, set the tone. Play some Riverman style hockey. Like I said, it's one of those questions where are we going to see them or are we going to see some other team? And my third key is crisp passes. This year, especially this year, they've just been having issues with passing. And I'm not sure why, because in the past we haven't had really much issues with passing. But this year, for some reason, you might say it's, they're not used to each other yet. They're whatever. I mean, guys, they have played, 2 months now together? Some of them been playing for 2 months together. They should know each other. They should know what this guy's going to do. They should know what that guy's going to do.
Exactly. They should know by now how each player
so
plays.
I don't want to have that as an excuse. Now, is there some new people on the team? Yes. Henderson, he looked decent last night. He didn't get a whole lot of ice time. Speaking of that, that is one guy I'll be watching. The small ice time that he got last night, he looked good. He did what he needed to do. Of course, like I said, he's been kind of just thrown to the wolves a little bit because he's never played Guy's style of hockey. Right. And, he's so used to Quad Cities style of hockey, which is completely different than our style of hockey. We actually play hockey down here. But so
well, you ain't wrong.
My second guy I'm gonna watch is Gillette. He's working hard. I'm not gonna say he's not. He's working hard. He got a few assists. He's been putting in the work, putting in the effort, and I do enjoy watching him. My third guy, and I'm glad to have him back because he gives 110% every time on the ice, and that is Frank Terzera. He is, you know, he's not 100% on the offensive side, but he's a very good penalty killer for us. He's a very good physical body on the ice. Now, he hasn't really fought this year. He had one fight, I believe, this year so far, if you want to call that a fight. I didn't really call it a fight. It was more of a hugging match, in my opinion. But he's a physical player on the ice. He can hit. He can get in the way of a puck. So I think those are my three players I'm going to watch tonight. And like I said, it's just I want, like Wade said before too, I want consistency. That's the biggest thing with this team is they're not consistent enough. One period they're good, next period they're like, oh well, this ain't our period, and then the next period they play exactly how they played the first period. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just the consistency is not there. Now that we got that kind of out of the way, we're going to talk just a little bit about racing tonight. Tonight, final night of the Gateway Dirt Nationals down in St. Louis. It is actually already started. They were supposed to start at 3:30 today. So if you like racing, like I said, get on there, get on Flow. It's on Flow. Watch that tonight.
It's also on Paramount Plus if you have Paramount Plus through Flow.
Oh, Paramount Plus. It's on Paramount
Yeah,
Plus.
they're doing something with Flow to where if you have Paramount Plus, you can watch it on Paramount Plus as well.
All right, that's good to know for any of our viewers out there. Ben, real quick, who would you like to see win tonight? Who you think's going to win tonight?
Definitely not Pierce.
Yeah, we all know that. Yeah.
Ball. Yeah, but he really didn't look like he did too well. Wait a minute.
Well, he won Thursday.
He won Thursday, but Friday it was like
he didn't win. He didn't race Friday. He didn't win. He didn't race last night.
Why did they show him all the time then? Anyway,
he didn't. Yeah, he didn't win. He didn't race last night.
There was a lot of tore up the cars Thursday and Friday. I mean, tore up like the whole rear end got ripped off. A lot of fence work done. But with that said, tonight, like I said it on the previous show we did with Eric, the tire guy, I would like to see some local win, whether it be from Missouri or from Illinois. I mean, so I'd like to see like a Squirrel or even a B-Shep win. So that's who I'd like to see probably win. Even Fager, you know. So.
Okay.
That's all I got. What about you, Ty?
I would like to see Brandon Shepard win 3 in a row. I think it would be nice to see him win. And I would say, Wade, what's your pick tonight? But the guy in the race car.
Yeah, that one guy that you all know. I think he might do it tonight.
Yeah. So again, guys, we'll have a special show Wednesday coming up Wednesday. We'll recap all the Gateway. Hopefully we'll have the tire guy on there again to discuss it, and hopefully one of our guys wins. That would be great.
And one final thought from Wade.
Yeah. And then after this, I have a special announcement about a special guest next Saturday. So Go ahead, Wade. Do
one more time. That's
one more time.
Indian Restaurant and Bar, downtown Peoria. Go in there, tell them I sent you. Check out some good food and have some good service, and enjoy something different, something new. It really is delicious food. People that have ate there have came back to me and told me how much they've enjoyed the food with their family and enjoyed the atmosphere there. I've never heard one negative thing about them, guys.
I even asked some friends that's been there, and they said they really like it a lot. So
yeah, not one negative thing I've heard.
That's just one confirmation besides you, So
yeah, so I'm telling you, get down there, check it out, try some food. You're not going to regret it. You're going to enjoy yourself, and it's a very great experience for you and the family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thanks, Wade. So, big announcement. Next weekend, we will have a special guest on to discuss things with us and slightly interview him. I'm not going to give out his name. I'm gonna keep it a secret for now. So join us.
It's going to be about hockey. So
yes, it's gonna be about hockey, and I will give you guys this. He is a former Riverman. He was on the championship, the first championship team of the Rivermen. So, first SPHL championship, I should say, of the Rivermen. So join us next weekend at 3:00.
Yes.
We will have our special guest on. Please come, get involved in the chat, ask questions. We're going to have him. Like I said, it's going to be like an open format. I'm really excited to have him on the podcast. I'm sure Wade is too, because it's going to open doors. I've already talked to him, and he has gave me some names of former Rivermen that would like to be on the podcast as well. Hopefully, maybe in the future. So, like I said, join us next weekend, 3:00. And we'll have a special guest with us. So, again, tonight, Rivermen play tonight for our hockey fans. It'll be at 6, I think it's 6:05, 6:10 Central Time tonight. And
5 p.m. Central Time tonight, actually.
Yes, it is. I think you're right. I'm sorry. Tomorrow is 2:00 Central Time.
2 a.m. Really?
Yeah, I wish. 2:00 Central Time, 1400 for anybody that knows military time. 1400. Tomorrow, against the Marksmen again on a Sunday game, and then tonight, Gateway Dirt Nationals final night should be interesting. And going on right now. Yeah, going on right now. So on behalf of Big Ben, Wade, and myself, y'all have a great Saturday night. And again, we do it which way, Wade? All right. See you guys.
Thanks, guys.